So let me get this straight. We're still being charged $3,500 for bags. Meanwhile, manufacturers, wholesalers, and warehouses in China are all over the internet reading for filth of these luxury and designer brands telling us that they're the ones who make the Louis Gucci Prada. It's really just the same thing that I can get off of DHgate, but it's costing them pennies on the dollar to make it and sell it to me. Consider my pearls clutched. Hey sugar, I'm the Black Magnolia, your favorite bougie babe, bringing you all your bougie but budget-friendly tips and faves and a little bit of everything in between. Today is a little bit more of the in-between, because today I'm going to break down for you how the current trade war is pulling back the curtain and exposing these luxury designers for the scammers, the liars, and the frauds that they are, and what that really means for us as consumers. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that they're scammers and liars and frauds for like realsies, but maybe they are. And don't get me wrong, I love luxury. That is why we are here. I'm bougie, but I'm budget friendly. I'm also not a fool. So I don't want to pay money for something that it's not worth. I get it. Everything has intrinsic value. Things that the more expensive they are, the higher demand there is for them. I get it. However, I don't like it. So let's get into what all this trade war and tariff stuff has to do with us.
This birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? First, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Muti from Italy. And the second is Weinheim from Germany. And the third is Haas from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one birkin. The thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil al Chinois. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316. One piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. The edge oil is called heat seal edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD. The interior lining, for each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. And the zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 600 USD. The package, now this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one birkin out of factory.
Absolute and utter audacity. So in a nutshell, the US and China have been at odds over trade since at least 2018, and that trauma comes with tariffs. Basically, extra taxes on products coming in and out. Luxury brands that get their zippers, leather, or even dust bag fabric from China, they are now paying more just to import it to the US. And trust me, they are not just sitting back and sipping champagne and letting that slide. They are passing that cost to us, the consumers. So that already overpriced $2,500 bag, add another $300 to $400 to it just because of this trade war. And that's before you even think about sales tax. This is a war that we did not start, but that we as the consumer are completely affected by. So as with anything, the higher the price, the higher the tax. That Gucci Marmont that you might have had your eye on, it's going to cost you a small fortune, more than it already did, to get it in today's economy because of these tariffs. And we're just going to see all of that trickle down to even less expensive brands as well. All of this is going to rely heavily on production volume and trade routes. And remember, something that luxury brands like to do is sell that scarcity mindset to us and make us think, you have to have this bag. There's only 10 of them. And do you want to be number 11? No, because number 11 doesn't exist. And if you want to matter, if you want to be relevant, if you want your soul to awaken and sing for the first time it ever has since you have been alive, you need this bag. I mean, that's not true, but they're going to make us think that it is. And I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and everybody on the internet is saying it too. Just because something is expensive, just because something has a logo on it, does not mean that it is good quality or better quality than something that may cost 10 to 20 times less. And that has got the luxury industry shaking in its boots. But like, let them shake in their designer Fendi boots. I'm okay with that. But what does that mean for us, the consumers, the fashion girlies who want all the fashion things because we have a bougie lifestyle that we need to keep up, but we have a budget that we also need to maintain? So I think that this is really something that's going to start to make all of us rethink luxury. I did a video a few weeks ago about the Walmart Birkin, the Workin, and what an impact that had on us as consumers, knowing that we could get something that was incredible quality. Because I'm telling you, the girls in these streets were showing us this bag. It was fantastic. I didn't get my hands on one, but I have heard some things about this Workin, and it is doing what it was supposed to do. But luxury brands don't want us to think like that. They don't want us to think that we can spend $75 and get something that is beautiful, that is sturdy, well-made, and well-crafted, as opposed to spending $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a bag for clout. So that really puts into focus for me that the fact that luxury for less is not just a fun, kitschy thing to do on the internet and talk about being bougie but budget friendly or dupe it sis. No, this is actually becoming a necessity now. If you love fashion and style, or just to simply get the things that you need, clothes, shoes, handbags, those kinds of things, like, it's gonna get expensive, whether you're shopping at Shein or whether you're shopping at Dior. Prices across the board are starting to rise. And when you have a luxury obsession like I do, which if you're here, I'm sure you do too, this is gonna get really sticky. We also have to remember that a brand and a logo don't define who we are. It's nice. Luxury is fun to have. Luxury is a fun thing to indulge in after you've paid all your bills and put some money away for savings, or, gone on a trip or done something else. Luxury is a nice thing to be able to indulge in. However, it is just that. It is an indulgence. It is not a necessity. While it's nice to have those things, you don't necessarily need to have those things, but it's fun and there are ways to do that. So what is we gonna do? First, we need to make sure that we are shopping smart in this new climate. The first thing that we need to do is start to shop our closets and maybe even go on a no-buy if you need to. Like if you've got way too much stuff and don't need any more, try a no-buy. Or let's think about shopping designer-inspired or mid-range luxury brands. Prices are not going to be anywhere near as high as these designer houses that are charging $1,000 for a pair of shoes, but you're still going to get good quality items. And there are so many good designer-inspired items or dupes, not replicas. I mean, whatever. But there are so many good quality items out there that you can get for a fraction of the cost of these luxury and designer brands. Next, thrifting, consignment shopping, and buying pre-loved. These are 3 ways that I absolutely love to shop for designer items. I've done quite a few videos on how I thrift and how I learn what I'm looking for when I'm out there thrifting for items, or if I'm going consignment shopping, how I set myself up to be able to find the best deals on the nicest stuff. Sometimes people just get rid of stuff that they don't want anymore or don't need, and it's really nice. And not just those 3 ways, but also going to garage sales in upscale neighborhoods. That is one of my very favorite things to do. In my community, there are big, huge community garage sales put on by 1 or 2 realtors. They send out a bunch of advertising and marketing. They make it a whole neighborhood thing. They come to each neighbor's house. They bring us 2 to 3 dozen donuts so that we can have donuts to give out to people and say, put all your stuff out here and take my card in case you're looking to buy a house or in case you're looking to sell the one that you're in. It's a great way for marketing for them, but it's also a great way for us as individuals to go out and meet our neighbors and see what good stuff they are trying to get rid of, because a lot of times it's designer. I've gotten Aritzia, I've gotten LV, I've gotten YSL, and even mid-range brands like jcrew and Banana Republic. I get that stuff all the time at these garage sales that I go to. I guess this is one way to help us lean into sustainability a little bit more when it comes to fashion. I mean, if you're buying secondhand, you're not contributing to more stuff being made and manufactured and put out there in the world to wind up in a garbage dump. But either way, I think that is a wonderful way for you to find items and pay a whole lot less. But all that being said, how are we supposed to feel about luxury now? I don't want to be ashamed carrying any of my designer bags or wearing any of my designer shoes. I don't want that, and I'm not going to feel bad about it, but I am going to be smart about the purchases that I make moving forward. I am not sitting here telling you to stop buying luxury. I am telling you to be smart about how you shop. So how are we supposed to feel about luxury now? I mean, pretty disenchanted. I think that we all knew that we were overpaying in some way, shape, or form for luxury and designer items, but we were willing to do it because it felt good and it feels good to carry a designer bag and to go out and feel fancy. But it's just not wise anymore. It doesn't set us up for our futures, and that's what we really need to be thinking about long term, is not just fashion and style, because that is fun and that is my life, but we need to think about our futures as well and what that means financially for us as we start to look at how we are going to stretch our funds in this new economy. My final thought, the price tags and the label don't define who we are. And now that we know better, we need to do better and shop better. Let me know in the comments down below if this makes you rethink splurging on that bag or those shoes, or if you're just going to keep buying luxury the same way that you have before. But around here, like I said, we're bougie, but we are budget friendly. So I'm always going to keep bringing you all of my bougie but budget friendly tips and tricks. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and head down to the subscribe button, click it, and turn on your notification bell. That way you will never ever miss any of the designer inspired videos that I have for you here on the channel. And let's chat about this down in the comments below, because I want to know what other people think, because the luxury game is changing and it is time that we play a little bit smarter. Thanks for hanging out, sugar, and I will see you in the next video.